Rebellion seems to be legitimate and necessary until the consequences of rebellion begin to show up. Hi, this is Barry Phillips of 10-Minute Torah, Day 1 of Qorach, Bald One. We are in Numbers, or Bamidbar, chapter number 16. Let's start with verse 1. And Qorach, son of Yitzhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, took both Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliav, and On, sons of Peleth, and sons of Reuben. And they rose up before Moshe with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, called ones of the meeting, men of name, or renown, maybe another way of saying that. And they assembled against Moshe and against Aaron, and said to them, Enough of you, for all the congregation is set apart, all of them, and Yahweh is in their midst. Why then do you lift up yourselves above the assembly of Yahweh? Now, if we want to get upset, don't have to look hard. There are plenty of reasons, a long list of reasons. Just pick one. We may grumble, we may kind of mumble to ourselves, we may scratch and claw about some things. Maybe we never verbalize them. Maybe we just kind of keep them to ourselves and leave it alone and think, well, you know, if Yah sees injustice in this, he will resolve it. I'll put it in his hands and just let it go. And there's some wisdom in that. But the thing is, if we let things simmer long enough, Yeshua said that it's out of the overflow or the abundance of the heart, out of the mutterings, reasonings, and stored up stuff that we accumulate in the chambers of our heart, the mouth is going to speak. So if you really want to know what's on somebody's mind, just give them long enough and they'll tell you. It'll come tumbling out of their mouth. Maybe not blatantly, and maybe not, in an absolute pure form, but you'll get the clue. So if we hide it, it's going to come out. And that's not always wise. It's better to go to the issue or to the cause of our issue and see if we can find some resolve. Pray about it and just give it to Yah and leave it, get it out, be done with it. Qorach didn't do that. Now, it's very likely that he's upset of the recent announcement and verdict that he and his generation are not going into the land. They're going to circle the wilderness until they fall over and are buried in its dirt. Not a very promising future. And I understand his idea of being upset about this. But he kind of came a little late. Where was he at when it was Yehoshua and Caleb trying to silence the crowd and say, wait, we can do this? Qorach evidently was among those weeping and wailing in their tents and making a big scene and spectacle of themselves, only now to gather around himself comrades, people of like mind. And here's a little secret, and I've experienced this, Laura and I both, in our pastoral experiences. If someone comes to you and they are verbalizing their angst over some issue, some situation, if you don't absolutely say to them, I disagree with you, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't bear that grudge. I don't have that issue. I'm not upset about that. I'm not a part of this. They will pull out their pad when your conversation's over and put a check by your name and say, there's another one that agrees with me. If we don't absolutely state, I want nothing to do with this. I'm not a part of this. I don't agree with you. No, not going there. They're going to count you and they're going to add you. And then when they go to whatever the source of upset is, They will pull out your name along with everybody else's on that list and say, see all these people, they're upset with you. And this is especially directed at leadership. I had a young man come into my pastoral office a number of years ago, many years ago, and tell me, Pastor, there's a lot of people upset with you. Oh, really? Well, what are they upset about? I can't tell you. Well, who are these people? And I pulled out a piece of paper and a pen. I said, who are we talking about? And, and I'll go to them and figure out what's going on, and we'll get it resolved. He said, oh, I can't tell you anyone's names. This young man had been a desired protege of mine. He wanted to be my protege. He wanted to be a right-hand man. He wanted to be significant. He wanted to be used of the Father. But I had to look at him and say, there's only one person that I know that is upset, and that's you. And it's obviously you, because you're coming in here saying something's wrong, but you're not giving me any information, so it's you that's upset. That was the opening of a door for him to make an exit, which he did not long after that. I refused to play the politics of what was being offered, and I encourage you not to do that as well. There are a lot of folks online in congregations within, and it doesn't have to be a religious issue at all. It could be something on your job. You've got coworkers that are trying to rally support for their cause against the supervisor, or whatever the situation may be in that regard. Family upset. Siblings will be calling to figure out who's on whose side here on this issue. Don't get caught in that. It's dangerous. Rebellion against whoever is in authority or leadership, or whoever is the issue of the angst, it seems legitimate until the fallout begins to take place. Then there's not a mop and bucket big enough to clean up the mess. Qorach goes evidently as a Levite. He's of the house that's closest to the tribe of Reuben. He's slipping over there around the campfires at night and talking his talk. And he has persuaded Reubenites, who do not have a dog in this hunt, to join him in his cause, ultimately leading astray 250 significant men. Now, that he just send out invitations and say, come to the meeting, that's a dangerous thing. When you get invited to a meeting and you don't know what the meeting's about, you might want to skip the meeting. Just a heads up there. These guys show up at least one by one. Maybe he's courting one, maybe he's courted somebody, and then they go get somebody and say, well, I'm upset about that too. It's amazing how many common feelings of negativism can be shared and how large that party can go. But this is their cause. Moshe, you and Aaron, with this latest verdict on us, you've overstepped it. And you've taken on too much of a role of responsibility and authority, and you're lording it over everyone else in this camp. Moshe, everybody in this camp is holy. They're holy people. This is a holiness camp. And you've messed up. You have brought judgments against a holy group of people, and they're all qualified equally with you. Now, what that is saying to Moshe, you're not the only one that can hear from Elohim. You're not the only one that can know the Torah. These people have the legitimate right to go to Yah and get their own Torah for themselves. We don't need you to interpret Yahweh anymore. Oh, what a change, really. If that is true, then the Torah is by every man's personal design, and no one else's is legitimate. And if we think that's a weird thing, it's absolutely what takes place oftentimes in the body over our doctrinal issues, our quarrels, and our complaints against one another. My Torah is better than yours. bringing good news to you today. Something to pray about. And we'll hope to see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.